Hello, hello, hello. We are Friday and we are live. Relationship matters. Welcome, people. It is Friday. We get to talk about relationships. And I am Stephane Funga, and you are on Stephane Funga Live. Thank you so much. I hope you had a good week and you're ready to enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much. And today, I have my friend Tangela with me. Nori was not able to join us tonight for some personal reasons, but we're going to be thinking about her. Welcome. And I'm going to bring my guest tonight, my friend Tangela.
Good.
Tangela, welcome again.
Thank you, Stephane. Wonderful to be here. Friday night.
It is Friday night, and we get to talk relationships.
Because relationships matter.
Because relationship matter. Did you have a good week?
I had a fabulous week.
Yeah?
Yep, and looking forward to an even better weekend. Maybe some hiking, some
That'll
sun
be good.
tomorrow.
Wow.
What about you? How was your week?
The week was good. Monday to Friday is work. We're always looking forward for our weekend, and
Yes, we are.
especially Friday. Wow. So we're going to kickstart our show tonight. Tonight, we want to switch it a little bit, my people. We want to get you engaged. If you just connected with us, drop a comment. Your city and your country of origin. If you're a foreigner, you're welcome to Stephane Funga Live. The telephone number to connect with us, it's 1-682-313-6182. And you can call us on WhatsApp. We're going to kickstart, Tangela. And as we continue, people will be submitting the question or giving us the number. What's the number you want to go for tonight?
Let's try 21.
Let's try number 21. Number 21. Where are you?
Wow.
Interesting. Expectation. What are your expectations when it comes to dating and finding a partner? That's our question tonight. Number 21. What are your expectations when it comes to dating and finding a partner?
None of these questions are easy. I tell you, they're all loaded. Where are the softballs? Oh my God.
I wish we knew them before, and at least we but people, we don't know the question. We get to find out about this question at the same time as you.
Yeah.
Live on this show. But I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
We can expectations and finding a partner.
That's a good one.
It is a good
So
one.
who's going to start? You, me, or the
I
caller?
think
Or calling.
so. The phone is open. You can call us. But hey, we here, you and I, as we're waiting for the callers. Let's start.
All right,
You
let's get
going?
to it. So, expectations when it comes to dating and finding a partner.
Mm-hmm.
So, those can be two exclusive things. You
Yeah.
can choose to date for
Mm-hmm.
companionship and just human connecting, um, or you can date with the intention to be serious with someone in a committed relationship, uh, to the understanding of having a partner
Mm-hmm.
where you can be monogamous, just you and that person,
Mm-hmm.
or you can be looking to date to find a partner to lead to a spouse. So those are three different elements, part of the whole or separate. So one is on the outset, the individual should determine why are you out there in a dating market in the first place. Do you want to date just to get dressed up and have a good dinner, conversation, companionship? Do you want to find a partner,
Mm-hmm.
um, something a little bit more serious, or do you want to get married? And so once you decide from the very beginning what you want to do, um, that is where the expectations will come into play. And you must know, you should, depending on your age is a factor too, because at 20 something, you're looking for something different in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So age and level of maturity is a factor, but you should know what you want from that individual going in as well. Do you want someone who's a traditionalist, who holds doors, pulls chairs, or, if it's a woman, does she lean over to unlock the door for the man to get in? Chivalry goes both ways, respect goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want someone who cooks or prefer getting dressed up and, wearing a swanky dress or, nice suit and going out to dinner? Um, do you want a family person who likes, family gatherings, barbecues, and holidays and things of that nature? So the individual should decide what their expectations are before they get
Mm-hmm.
out here in the market, and what they want in their mate. Um, and really just go from there. Does that person give that to you? Do you give that to them? Is there energy there, a connection there? If so, then you move to the next level. But if not, I wouldn't stay in the dating zone if you feel like you're wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting what you set out to get, then I would not be promiscuous, I would not be promiscuous in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
There are too many diseases out there, for one. Two, people still don't use protection like they should, in intimate relations. The other thing is, when you just get to know the person physically,
Mm-hmm.
you lose out on the time you need to really know the mind, the body, in a good way, and the soul of an individual. What those person's hobbies are, what their skills are, um, um, things that make the relationship last beyond the sensual.
Wow.
So, all those things must be considered and put on the table. And nowadays we date with a purpose. So I would not be promiscuous and, jumping into bed with people in a dating scene. The other thing is, if you're looking for a partner, definitely get to know that person outside of the physical attributes, because what our elders said is true.
Mm.
The beauty fades,
Yeah.
the abs fade, the pocketbooks may even fade. So you should want to be with a person who gives you companionship,
Mm.
um, who makes you feel complete, not individually, but when the two of you are together, you're one. Um, it make you feel good staying at home on a Friday night. Dating can be at home over a
Mm.
dinner. Dating can be watching television. And once you become older, where I
Mm.
am now, your perspective on dating changes completely.
Completely.
Yeah, from my 20s. Yeah, and if I could go back to my younger self,
Mm.
I definitely would have done some things different, without a shadow.
After that.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I would have done a whole lot differently in my 20s, being where I am now.
Today.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it's It's very, very important when you deciding to date first to know yourself, and why do you want to date, and which stage at your life you're on, and what type of person you're looking for, what type of person you want to have in your life. So today a lot of people are dating, but probably not knowing in themselves or even the person they want to attract,
Hmm.
to to be in their lives. So it is important to first get to know yourself and know what you're looking for. Like you said, are you dating to find a partner? Are you just out there, you want to have fun? They even people that are just dating so they can go out and have free dinner.
But nowadays men make you pay now. Men have caught up. Men said women are working and earning money.
You
Men look
see,
across the table too.
yeah,
Then,
people are lining up date every day, just
mhm.
just to have free dinner. But like
Yep,
you said, some of those free dinner, you end up there, and you're being asked to pay your half.
yep.
So
Pay
you
much.
definitely need to understand why you want to date and what type of person you want to attract in your life. Are you looking to date? you know are you dating in purpose? What are your the goals? What do you want to achieve, once you put yourself out there? You raise a point of, today a lot of people are in, I mean, everything is fast. Everybody, want to connect and move to the physical level, and not really knowing each other, or knowing the person that they're getting physical with. So it is important that, hey, you think through, why you want to date, and what type of person you want to bring in your life if you're dating. And once you meet that person, or you start talking to someone, it is, in my experience, it's always better to sort of keep the physical portion outside, so you get to know each other, and outside, the physical, because once you go physical, your thinking and your processing of thing that, it become a little bit complicated.
Absolutely.
But it is important that if you're dating in purpose, you really want to have somebody serious, you need to take yourself serious also, and making sure that, hey, you know letting them know, so this is where I am in my life, this is what I'm looking for, and see if they're able to uh, meet you, or provide what you are looking for. If not, there's no point to be talking to someone for months, wasting your time. It's better
I,
you
I agree.
move on, and find someone else, who and start talking to someone else, knowing that, hey, this relationship or this person is sort of the person I'm looking for.
And that's why keeping the physical out is so important too, because
Hmm.
if the two of you do not click, you have not given a part of yourself away you should be preserving for the person with whom you do click.
Correct.
And if you do have those urges, there are ways to get past them. There really
That.
are. There's a lot of discipline. Just there are things you can do to move your mind and
Away.
your urges past that.
Mm.
There are things you can do. And another thing we should bring up is the online dating and how that has changed the dynamic for dating. Because now, you can find a partner at the press of a button type of thing, and you
Yeah.
can meet people back to back to back to back to back
Oh
to
yeah.
back. I
Yeah.
mean, just a trilogy of people.
Every
And
day.
so, and so people must be really focused and disciplined on your dating strategy. You need a dating strategy, especially if you're dating online, because people misrepresent themselves online. You can have a date 7 days a week.
Mhm.
Um, and just you may not take the right time you need to get to
To
know
get
someone.
to
You
know
might
the
give
person.
like
Yeah.
give people time to make mistakes that we made traditionally when there was no online dating. And you don't just kick people to the curb either for the first yeah
Yeah.
for the first infraction.
Mm,
Otherwise, there would be no marriages, right? We wouldn't be here. So we really have to be mature
mm.
and um, strategic on in the dating process, because it is the next step to marriage, or just you know being a fabulous, mature, independent adult. Dating is wonderful, but it can be done, I think, wisely.
Yeah, and you brought a good point, talking about online dating today. I think that's also, it's sort of putting people in a position where they just like, with all this up, next I meet you today, tomorrow I'll meet someone else.
Yep.
So people are not really getting time to know other people, because people, are, it's like there's so much out there, there's so many apps, and people want to go through all those apps. They want to go through so many people, just hoping that, hey, tomorrow
Yep.
maybe then the guy tomorrow will be better, and missing out maybe in the guy that they should be focusing on today,
Yes.
that they've connected on today. They,
Yes.
because everywhere on these apps, they like, oh, hoping that, hey, tomorrow maybe the tomorrow guy will be a millionaire,
Yep.
maybe tomorrow guy will be better than the guy today. And you know choices, I think, is also putting a lot of people in a bad situation, and people are wasting a lot of time.
Oh.
People are wasting a lot of
Uh-huh.
time. You hear a story. Some people have been living in apps. I mean, how many people have you met? And all those people, every day they're on app. They'll talk to a guy today, tomorrow they talk to someone else, and not really taking the time to focus on, because people are still hoping that tomorrow guy will probably be
Would be better than today. And you're
that.
overlooking the one that's right in front of you,
Correct.
you know,
Correct.
right
Yeah.
next door. Hmm.
Wow.
So yeah.
If you are connecting with us tonight, you are on Stephane Funga Live. And Friday, we talk relationships, because relationship matters. We were on question 21. Give me another number, Tangela. What number you want to
Let's
go for?
let's go with 4.
Let's go with number 4. Let's see what number we have. Number 4.
Oh,
Interesting one. How do you envision a typical day in your married life?
mm, mm.
Like you said,
Who
these
writes these
questions
questions?
are these questions are loaded. How do you envision
A typical day in your
a
marriage.
typical day in your married life?
Mm.
Let me say, I'll start on this one. Just, we keep the convo going. And if you're connecting with us, the phone is open. You can call in, give us your opinion. That's what this show is about. It's about you sharing with us your story, your experience, and you can come in too and take a question, or give us, your opinion and the question that we debating. So, how do you envision a typical day in your married life? Um, assume that you married the love of your life, and, and everything is great. You are in love. We all expect that. Hey, typical day in a married life is it's love, it's passion, is sharing, whatever you have with that person. It's understanding. It's everything. You projecting yourself in the future. You're now thinking, okay, this is the person that I've married. We have the life to build together. So it's it's a broad question which touch to so many things, but a typical day, it's a happiness. That's whatever way you look at it, is just be happy in the presence of that person that you decide to share your life with, and you look into building a future together, and you're hoping that you know you don't have to look for for anyone else after that. That's you
Hopefully.
done, you said. Yeah, it is it is a loaded question, and there's too much we can go into that, but hey, what do you think?
Okay, so I was married 20 years. I
Hmm.
divorced. We divorced.
Mm.
Uh, one friend had said 20 years they would have stayed together after
Hmm.
20 years, but I attended a divorce court
Mm.
proceedings and saw a couple who was married 50 years and divorced. Believe it or not. So even that, 50 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year,
Hmm.
marriages fall apart. But I would say this,
Mm.
that when when you're in a good marriage,
Hmm.
it is euphoric. But
Hmm.
when you're in your good years, you know, it'll be among the best of your life. Marriages will have ups and downs. They'll have good years, they'll have in between,
Mm.
they may have ugly years. And that's why going into a marriage, a
Mm.
couple really should decide we're either going to make this work come what may,
Hmm.
outside of abuse and, some other things you don't stay in marriages for,
Correct.
regardless. But when there are human violations, so to speak, or breaches of the covenant
Hmm.
that you can live with and get through, it's absolutely worth it to work through those humps if you can.
If you can.
So if you can, yes. And I say that because I look back on my marriage and what I envisioned going into it, matched a lot of how it went. We
Mm.
just mm, I, we agreed to divorce, and I would say it was more amicable than not.
Mm.
Um, and I don't think either one of us has regrets for doing so because we've both moved on. But
Mm.
I would venture to say that some of those years for both parties should have been should be among the best of our lives as
Mm.
well. So you think about it. You think you're talking about working up with someone every morning,
Mm.
or relatively, right. You have conversations with these people during the middle of the day. You have disagreements. Hopefully, you laugh at your disagreements. You
Mm.
laugh at each other's quirks, and habits that only you know about that person.
Mm.
Um, you go to sleep. Excuse me. You go to sleep with well, if you're in the same room. Some couples don't sleep in the same room, but let's say you go sleep in the same room.
Mm.
You're not alone. There's someone there, and I'm not saying that you have to have someone all the time,
Mm.
because you don't. There should definitely be a level of independence. Some couples live in different homes. Some people live in different rooms. Right back in the day, that's how people did it. But when you're in that heyday,
Mm.
in your apex, whether it's year 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever,
Mm.
I just believe there's just nothing like it. Human beings were meant to be in community,
Correct.
and we got two eyes, two ears, two arms, two legs, one head. The husband and the wife are supposed to become the head together.
Amen.
One heart, because you're supposed to come together as one heart, that type of
Wow.
thing. Um, and Statistics show that men who are married live longer.
Wow.
Statistics show that women who are single live longer, but I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. And think
Mm,
about it, you've got couples who've been married 70, 80 years.
mm,
And I think in a healthy marriage, both parties will do better. You'll save your money, hopefully.
yes,
You're making investments.
definitely.
Um, you make smarter purchases. You get to see yourselves build a home and raise a family. And when you bring children into the picture, into the
Mm,
union, and you want children,
yeah.
sometimes you don't want children, but when they get here, Stephane is unlike anything in the world. Even to this day, I think about the joy I felt when my girls were young. They're 27 and
Yeah.
22 now.
Mm,
But even today, to this day, some of those years, honestly, were among just the best of my life. And I know it's not going to be any different. It's not going to be any different. Why? Because that was my family and my children at that
mm,
time. And that time is gone. So that's why I know, those are optimal moments. Because my children will never be those ages again.
yeah.
Where the family sat together for a meal or sat in front of the television or
Hmm.
went on a trip, that type of thing. So, although we're divorced, I believe we're friends for
Mm,
that reason. Because you have to hope for the best going in. You should work on the best and an optimal, um, just optimal experiences while you're in it. And then
mhm.
when you get to those humps, try to get over them. Try to get past them. Because think about your eulogy. Who you want there at your funeral? Because
Yeah.
you're going to die, right? You're going to pay taxes
You
and you're
will
going to
pass.
die.
Yeah.
Those are two things we're going to do. So at the end of your lifespan, who do you want there? What
What
do
do
you
you
want
want
said
there?
about your life? Your
Wow.
grandchildren. You know what I mean? It's more than a journey. It's a complete puzzle.
Hmm.
Yeah, marriage serves a purpose to the human existence.
You said it. There is nothing like marriage, a good marriage.
There isn't.
That's it is it is how can I define it on my own word? It's just you can't even express it when you meet someone that's you decide to come together as husband and wife. The potential are just limitless together. When you like you said, you might have four eyes, but you have two, which is it's looking twice in the same vision. So everything you do, it is amplified. When you bring the kids in this world, there's nothing like bringing life in this world. And you think about when you be uh, going your legacy and all of that. Let me say hello to the people joining us. Golden Girl, welcome. Thank you for being here and thank you for supporting the show. This show is all about you. The telephone number is 1-682-313-6182. We would love to hear from you. We'll love
Yeah.
to hear your story. You can call in, contribute on our discussion, or even give us your question or share your experience with us. On that, I think we can take another question. Give us a number if you are connecting with us tonight. You are on Stephane Funga Live. Or Tangela, I'll take a number from you.
Okay, let's see. We're up to 50, right?
Yeah, we're up to
Let's
50.
let's go with 44.
Number 44. Let's go. Number 44. Where are you? Interesting one. Number 44.
Oh my God.
How do you handle major life decisions, such as relocating or changing careers as a couple?
Wow.
That's a
Ooh,
tough one.
that's a hard one. Yeah. Yep. That can be one of those hurdles I was talking about. Yeah, marriage isn't easy, is it?
It's not.
Uh,
It is not. How do you handle major life decisions, such as relocating or changing careers as a couple?
well, and a couple doesn't have to be married, so the couple can be living together,
Yeah.
or they can be dating and living in separate homes, or they can be
Hmm.
married. So those are the three dynamics.
Yeah.
Um, I've been through this one too. So again, hopefully most of these areas are discussed at the outset. You know, what the person wants to do for a living,
Hmm.
what type of career is a person working towards? Is it going to be something very demanding, like a pilot where you're not home much, you know, a
Hmm.
doctor where you're on call, a lawyer they call the jealous mistress, teaching, you do planning, but you're home more,
Mm.
computers, you might be home. So hopefully the couple has had a conversation at the outset as to what the career tracks are. But I think it did say something about changing careers too. So
Mm.
if you change a career, then that is going to um, disrupt the plans in the expectations you had at the very beginning. It does a change of your plans. So
Mm.
communication is going to be key. First of all, you got to decide again: do you want the relationship to work?
Yes.
You know,
Very
if you
important.
yep, if you want the relationship to work, you got to find a way. You got to find workarounds. Is what it's going to come down to.
Communicate. Yes.
Yep, and then communicate is going to be that glue that will
Keep the marriage together,
yep,
the
yep,
relationship together. Yeah.
yep. Regardless of where you slide on
Hmm.
that pendulum, you're going to have to communicate to make it work. Now, hopefully, one party is not selfish and just
Yes.
decide to take the money or to change a career, excluding the impact it has on the other
To the
partner.
other person. Yes.
Yeah, especially if children are involved,
Hmm.
because you may lose a caregiver, that type of thing, and the children may lose a parent too. So communication, I think, is going to be the key here, and hopefully, the parties can work it out.
Yes, you said it. It's it. You know, whether you're married or you a couple, you know, my dad was in the military, and the growing up as you know, as a military man, you know, my dad had like 10, you know, 10 children, and 8 are still living. And at some point, you know, and this is back, which is kind of different, but I want to talk about it so I can sort of reflect to where we are today. You know, back then, you know, a parent, you know, if one has to travel in the and could not move his family, he will go, move because the job wanted him to move. You know, like it happened with people that are in the military today. They'll go, you know, they are deploying different places or different countries. They'll go and work, but still uh, keeping the family, or whether it's here or you know, just to maintain the stability of the family, because you know sometimes you can't move all your kids, they're in school and so on and so forth. It is important that you communicate, and the other person know that, hey, understand that, you know, like you said, the person is not being selfish, just looking at, hey, I need to advance my career, so I'm gonna make this move and do this. But when there are no kids involved, it's again, it's a, you know, there's two people that have to deal with that. You say, hey, you want to move, but you need to look into what your partner or the person you are with is doing. Is that move also allow them to advance their own career or be in a better position once we move? if they have a job already here, how all those things are very important that you discuss before you take that decision to say, hey, I am gonna move. It's the job or the salary that you're gonna be getting on this job, on this move. Is it gonna be supporting your whole family until your wife or your partner find another job? So all those are very important conversation that you need to have as a couple before you can decide to make a move. But if it's a combined decision that you say, hey, we're all moving together because there are opportunities for all of us there, or we're tired of living in Dallas, we want to be living in California. That's a different outcome, because you're all looking into one direction, and you've had that discussion. But if you one person in a couple say, hey, I have an opportunity there, and then uh, we have to move because your opportunity is pushing the other person to move, and then you need to have a serious conversation to see how your partner or your wife feel about that, and see if that move is going to be beneficial to them as well.
Absolutely. And I'll add two things. One is
Mm,
the person who's advancing or
yeah.
causing the relocation. Sometimes they'll go ahead, like you described, without the family and send money back and come
Mm,
visit and things of that nature until the family can rejoin them, or that's how it works for some period of time.
mm,
So the person who is getting the advancement or causing the relocation must understand and reassure the partner and the family the
mm.
advancement and the money is for the entire nucleus.
Yes.
It is for the entire family structure. So
Amen.
if one person is earning more money, then there should be more money in the till for
Yep.
school activities, for shopping, for paying bills, for whatever it is. There should be some tangible and some overt evidence
Yeah.
of this advancement.
Yeah.
So that person should not take that money and and squirrel it away, be tight fisted, mine, mine, mine,
It's my
you know,
money.
and the family doesn't feel it. The second thing is, so everybody must benefit from it because the advancement comes from on high
Yeah.
for the unit, not just for you. The second thing is, if there is relocation, the person must honor the sacrifice the other party makes to invest and pour into that person who's
Definitely.
so two things, it benefits the family, and
Mm.
two, there must be acknowledgement of that move. And I'm gonna make it the other way too. Sometimes you need an anchor, right, to
Yep.
undergird the one who is advancing at that time, so that person can flourish and be
Mm.
successful in that role. Again, we are a partnership, we are one. And
Definitely.
and like we're saying, people who are settled in the mind, settled in the body,
Mm.
settled in the spirit, settled in the soul, accomplish incalculable heights. I use the Obamas again as an example, and there
Mm.
have been others.
Yeah.
So when you have two people who are working together, whether you're in the same house, whether one's in the military field,
Mm.
and one's holding down at home, one's in the operating room, one's pushing the broom as a custodian, but there's somebody at home cooking the meals for that person when they get home and they're tired, and from children. When you have people working together, there is absolutely nothing that you cannot do or cannot accomplish. You have people who don't even have education
Oh yeah.
who were able to start successful businesses.
That's right. It we keep going back about communication, and not being selfish. Communicating and thinking that whatever you are doing, if you are advancing, and make sure that you understand that you have a family or you have a partner, and they have to benefit from that advancement. It should not
Exactly right.
be just something that push you forward, and the other person it's behind, because while you're advancing, they are supporting you to go forward. So it is very, very, very important.
Mhm.
Hey, if you're connecting with us tonight, you are on Stephane Funga Live, and this show is about you. The telephone number is 1-682-313-6182. We'd love to hear from you. You can call, take one of our questions, give us your opinion. It's all, there's no right or wrong answer. We're just sharing and learning from each other. Or you can come and give us your question or share with us your experience. Let's get a question from our audience. Give us a number if you can. Any number between 1 and 50. Any number between 1 and 50. We're going to take one more number between 1 and 50. Give us a number between 1 and 50. A number between 1 and 50. Hey, Bikashev, welcome to the show, my brother. Happy to have you here. Give us a number between 1 and 50. Or you can call in 682-313-6182. We'll take a number from you, Tangela, while our people are thinking about the numbers.
Let's go with 7.
Number 7. 7 seems to be coming back. Let's see what we have. Number 7. Number 7. What question we have? We've covered marriages tonight. Do we want to pick another question?
Yes, go with 19.
19. What's question 19? We're going to go question 19. That's a good one.
That is. Oh, Stephane, I think you're going to be better than this one because my culture is not as.
All right, let's pick another number. What number are we going for? We are in USA. What's the number? Give me a number.
Let's go with 30.
Number 30. Let's see what number 30.
Oh.
This is X-rated. Let's go.
That's a fun question. And it didn't say marriage either. It said a long-term relationship. It said marriage, people just throwing a towel. They're like, oh God, after year 15, I mean, it's the same.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Let's pick another number. What number are we going?
You don't like that one? Because I have a response.
You have a response. What number did we have?
I have strategy. Okay.
What's the number?
Let's go to 32.
No, what's the number that was?
Oh, that was number 30.
Number 30. Oh, if you're going to answer, let's go for it.
Oh, I have an answer? Yeah.
Let's go. How do you maintain a sexual relationship with a long-term commitment?
Oh, you know what? I might not be the right person to answer that question because I advocate marriage. I'm sorry, sex in the marriage.
Outside of
marriage.
No. So we are going to pass on this question.
Yeah, I don't mind passing on that one.
And we're gonna go to What question you want?
Oh, let's try 11.
Number 11. Question 11.
Wow, we did that one already.
I think we cover long distance relationship, right?
We did. We
All
did.
our questions that they're sending us tonight, they kind of all right, we'll pick another one.
Let's try 13.
Number 13. Again, it's cultural. Let me pick a number. That's number 18.
Oh, that's a nice one. I like that one.
That's a nice one, isn't it?
That's a good one. Yeah, because that's a little different. Yeah.
What is your opinion on prenuptial agreement?
Well, the church I spent the most number of years in
Mhm.
taught not to have one.
Okay.
They taught not to have one because the marital assets are supposed to become part of the marital estate, and finances are to be discussed before you go in.
Mhm.
You live on the husband's income.
Mm.
You save and invest the wives. And we've had a couple. I don't know if I mentioned it on our forum or not, but we had a couple in our church who were able to surrender 200,000, well, over $180,000 in debt in 2 years. They paid
Yeah.
off that much debt in 2 years because they used, the Dave Ramsey
Mm.
formula, basically program. So so my traditional teachings are you marry without a prenuptial. If it's someone you don't trust with your money or you don't want to have access to your money, then you don't marry the person. However, in
Mhm.
today's society, and as a lawyer, I can say there are a lot of people who get married with prenuptial agreements.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them do. And to be binding, there must be full disclosures of all assets. People must be mentally competent. People must understand what they're getting into. The conditions cannot be excessive or burdensome. Um, and courts will enforce them, but courts will also strike them too. Void them. So I think in my next marriage, I'm hoping I don't need a prenuptial agreement. I want both of us to bring something to the table,
Mhm.
and be sane individuals where I don't spend all his money and
It
he doesn't
doesn't
gamble
swindle
all
you.
our money away. Yeah, and that's why people get afraid when they have something and they want a prenuptial because you don't know if you're in a second marriage or you're getting older. You don't know
Correct.
who you're getting involved with. People keep secrets, type of thing. So I don't know. I see it both ways. Personally, I don't want to have a prenuptial agreement,
Mhm.
but I'm not opposed to advising someone to get one
To have
from
one.
an attorney.
Yeah, I think I'll come into that with the same you never know, and that's it's the never know. It's what people push people to have a prenuptial agreement. And if uh the two people are not bringing the same uh thing, in the marriage, the same income, the same money, the other person want to protect what they had before because they feel, okay, I've worked for this money before you came into my life. you know we know how the law work in most countries. As soon as you're married, if there is divorce, you get to share whatever you have. So yes, it's something you need to look at. I'll say you need to look at it. You don't want to be in a position where you married, you have some asset, and then the marriage doesn't work out, and you have to share whatever you have. But and again, you just don't know. It's something, it's personal, and the type of relationship that you have, or the marriage that you have. Do you really know the person? Can you know you can't guarantee what would happen. But to
Yeah,
me,
and
if
they
you
can be
if
stricken.
if
Let's say you've been married 20 years, and by this point you've worked together,
Yeah.
you've seen each other's ups and downs, seen each other through all those things. And even if you give, even if someone walks away with $1 million or more in a divorce, you
Mm.
don't care sometimes. At that point, your thought process changed. They've seen you through an illness.
Completely.
You've seen
Yeah.
them through an illness. So a prenuptial agreement can always be, um, voided. I think. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to give misstate facts, so I'm not going to
Hmm.
give that example out because I'm not quite sure. But I think there was a situation where an NBA player
Hmm.
tore up his prenuptial with his wife after a certain number of years. If I
Hmm.
said the name and the circumstances,
Yeah.
you might recall it. But yeah, I do recall one, well-to-do, still wealthy NBA player tearing up his prenuptial because his wife
Mm.
stuck with him through their darkest times. So they're not set in stone. If you're young starting out, you shouldn't be asking the other person for a prenuptial agreement. I mean, you're 25, 27.
Hmm.
You know,
You have time to build.
yeah, you're coming in here building. You're both pretty much on the same footing. Even if one does have a business they just started,
Mm.
you're still starting. So I think when you're young girl and your assets on the same level, I don't think you should be trying to look for a prenuptial agreement. Those agreements come into play when you've been married once
Yeah,
already.
and that's what I was gonna add that if you've been married, you have kids, outside of that, you have asset, and it become important that you think about having a prenup because you have kids that you've had before, or you have asset, and yeah, you want your kids to benefit from should something happen or in case something happen. So you know
Yeah, and the counter and the tie into that is a will. You put up a great point about uh, pre-existing children
Mhm.
before you remarry, and you don't want the spouse to walk away with the children's share. Most states in this country, I don't know how it works outside of America, but
Mm.
most states in this country, if there is no will, the spouse will get a spousal share, and the children will get the spouse will get what's called an elective share, I think it's called, and then the
Mhm.
children will get a share. Everything does not go
To the spouse.
to the spouse
Yeah.
when the children are outside of the marriage.
Marriage.
Now, if the children are within the marriage from both parties,
Mhm.
then the surviving spouse, I think, gets like a life estate, can really take it all type of thing. But the way to get a workaround on not having a prenuptial agreement, but you want things to work out in the event someone dies, is to have a
Mhm.
good will. So, you know,
That is a very, very, very important. I'm gonna speak about the will, which is something, especially as African, we tend not to pay attention to it, and a lot of families get in trouble for that. So yes, you need a will, and if you're not working on one, or if you don't have one, get a lawyer, get a will. It is very important you have one. Let me say hello to the people that's joined us tonight. Theo, welcome. And Theo actually added a point. They said there are also post nuptial agreement that you can have.
yes, yes,
You
yep.
know
After
that
you marry. Hmm.
that's very important. Good point that you brought in. So people that are listening to us, it is very important that you look at it. That if you have to protect your asset, you feel somehow. Marie Louise, thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, if you just connected with us tonight, you are in Stephane Funga Live. And my friend tonight is Tangela William. I am trying to get this question outside. This is question 18. Tangela William, my friend. We were talking about relationship. We actually at the end of the show. I don't know if you got any words before we close tonight, people. If you have any comment, we would like to hear your comment on the chat. Tangela, you have any word before we close tonight?
Yeah, yes. Since so much touched on financials,
Mhm.
that statistically relationships end because of financial problems,
Yes.
and not the more interesting, dramatic, emotional ones. Um, Even adultery, financial
It's a
woes,
big,
even Trump, you know,
yeah.
marital infidelities. So that being the case, it is essential um, that people have their financial life in shape in a relationship when you're dating, when you're living together,
Mm.
which I don't um, advocate so much because that's a
Advocate.
whole other discussion.
that's another.
But
That's another
people
question.
do, people do, right? Let's talk in realities.
Yeah.
So living together, and then also in marriage, a, a sound financial life leads to a happy life, a peaceful life. Let's say peaceful. It leads to
Peaceful life.
a peaceful life because you have more freedom. You can go on vacation.
You can do.
You can sit down and talk about what schools you're going to send the children to. You're able to afford it, and when you're not worrying about will the bills be paid, how will the bills be paid,
Mm.
no one's over shopping, no one's gambling, no one's spending money outside their relationship where they shouldn't be. When you're not focusing on those things, you have that creates all this more energy and strength and chemicals and neurons in the brain, to be more creative, take more risk.
Take more
Uh,
risk.
yeah, you take more risk, and you just accomplish a lot more. You can be a pillars in your community. You can be pillars in your church. You can help your family members. You can help others, and it feels good having money in the bank. And it feels good, having a decent credit score, and
That's right.
all the things that just come with being good stewards over our income and over our resources. So, to the prenuptial agreement, to the postnuptial agreements, to the
To
wills,
the world.
yeah, to the discussions on career change, um, career advancement, income, increasing it, income, all those things. All that stuff should be brought front and center in a relationship, and both parties should participate in the decision making process with the money. It shouldn't be one person deciding on how money is spent, because I can give a lot of examples,
Mm-hmm.
especially how women have been the best financial advisors
Mm.
for countries, for corporations,
Mm-hmm.
and even for marriages. So, the husband is the head of the household, but make sure you include the
Or
wife or the partner in that thought process.
managing that money.
Yes, you need both sides of the brain for that.
Beautiful. You said it. I was gonna touch on again. I insist on the fact that hey, whatever you do, if you don't have a will tonight, I suggest that you should look into it. Have a will. Have your things in order, and having a will, it's cool. Let's just say it. It's cool to have a will. That way, should something happen to you, people know what you wanted to happen with your asset. Thank you so much, Nori, where you are. You're probably watching us tonight. We think of you.
Lori!
Shout out to you. We missed you tonight. Hopefully, we'll be with you. You'll be with us next Friday. And yeah, be good. And I'll speak to you soon. Everyone else, thank you so much for connecting with us tonight. You were on Stephane Funga Live, and myself and my friend Tangela Williams, wish you a good night and a good weekend where you are. Enjoy until next Friday. Bye bye.